Hi Leo, hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages. Well, it's your full moon in Scorpio reading, but I'm adding general messages as well. So these are going to be covering from the 25th to the 30th. So the way this reading is going to work is I'll start out discussing this full moon in the fixed sign of Scorpio, pull some cards for that, then I'll go into a relationship read, and then I'll follow that with a career/money read. I'm going to timestamp below for the relationship and the money career portion of the reading, so you don't have to stick around for the whole thing right now. If you want to come back later, or if you're only interested in particular parts of it, just check the description box below and pop around however you are comfortable. All right, so things are about to get pretty intense, Leo, because this lunar climax of Taurus season happens to be the first supermoon of the year, also known as the pink moon. And as I've been saying in all the videos, she is not playing around with this one. This full moon on the 26th is going to make our deepest secrets and vulnerabilities unavoidable, helping us to face the truth, our truth, as well as our own power. Now, this is going to be a really hard-hitting energy, okay? And I always say to be forewarned is to be forearmed. So let's talk about how it's probably going to be manifesting in your life. Now, again, I don't know what Leos I'm speaking to, right? Because I don't know what's in your personal chart. So I'm speaking really to the Leo archetype here. Okay. Now, full moons, as they do, tend to illuminate situations for us, right? But in the Scorpio energy, Scorpio is a sign that values a lot of privacy, for sure. So right now, you may not be inclined to share your emotional epiphanies and heartfelt realizations with the outside world, and that's fine. Do you. Do whatever you have to do to protect yourself right now in this energy. Oh, look at this. We have an extra one for you. They both came out. I had to take it. All right. So full moons, and this is the tricky part with them, right? They bring these things out, right? But then we're realizing these things, but we may not be talking to anybody about it. And look at this. We have Pluto, which rules Scorpio. We have the 5th house of romance, falling in love, love affairs, children, what you like to do because you like to do it. And then we have Cancer, the idea of home. So there could be some changes having to do with home and children and okay, I mean, there are many, I'm getting many, many messages, so let's just take it one step at a time. Okay, let's just head back to the astrology for a hot minute here. Besides the full moon sitting in a tense opposition to the sun, it's also forming a confrontational opposition to Uranus. And there's other energies in there as well, because Uranus is hanging out with Venus and Mercury as well. But it's this like direct opposition. It's like they're looking at each other square in the eyes, right? Uranus and this Scorpio full moon. And this face-off could bring about some sudden realizations, right? And dealing with this tension on top of all of the very in your feels energy that's going to be happening right now with this full moon can be a little challenging, but can also inspire you to think about things from a new perspective in a new way, and to really help you finally figure something out that you've been like, I don't know what to do kind of thing, right? That you've been struggling with. So you want to really use this powerful energy to your ultimate advantage. So specifically though, Leo, I want to say for your sign, this full moon might feel particularly emotional for you. And that's because it's hitting one of the most sensitive houses, right? It's in your 4th house. It's happening in your 4th house. Actually, that axis is very sensitive, right? Because it works with the 10th house. It's opposing the Sun, Uranus, Venus, and Mercury, all in the 10th house, right? Of career, but public reputation, you're standing in the world, right? So when we have that sort of facing off, that in that tension, home, career, you're standing in the world. 10th house could also be the idea of the institution of marriage, right? The fact that you're married. And you kind of come into the space of like, is this actually what you want? Is this the type of marriage that you want, right? Now, at the same time, it's squaring Saturn and Aquarius in your 7th house of what? Of marriage is what I'm saying, marriage. It's also partnership. So I know that a lot of you are not in partnership, are not married, but this could also be business partnership, very close family connection as well. Anyone that you have a shared soul purpose with. And Saturn is in there in Aquarius, and there is this square. So there's this tension, whatever you're realizing, right? As far as what is the 4th house besides home, right? It's home, it's mother, it's the idea of mothering, it's your childhood, right? Your past. Again, it is also the people that you literally live with, where you live, but it's also your metaphorical ability to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. right? And there's going to be a lot of illuminations here going on for you. And it's going to be in tension with that 7th house of partnership. A necessary tension though, Leo. So you're going to be getting help from the trine to Mars in Cancer in your 12th house. So there is going to be a lot of subconscious focus on your security and whether if what you're in right now is actually safe and nurturing for you in the long term, you know, not just for today, but in the long term. And this is things that are very hidden, right? This 12th house is the house of the hidden. House of the hidden, and it can also be the house, we do call it the house of self-undoing, is there can be some self-sabotaging tendencies in that energy, because really, you know what's going on there? You're looking at where are you sacrificing what it is that you ultimately want in your life, and are you being martyred in some way, or are you in some way maybe stepping on the toes of somebody that you're either working with or in relationship with? Maybe you're not being unfair. Are you being secretive? I don't know. But it's time to release negativity. Look at this, my friends. Oh my goodness. Will you look at the Moonology card you got if you can't read that? Full moon in Scorpio. I was waiting to see who was going to get that. Leo, time to release the negativity. That's what this is all about. You have to release the negativity. And you have to, this is like, there's got to be transformation, right? Because Scorpio is all about endings and beginnings and the ability to transform things. So we have it here with Neptune, though. Neptune can be a very smoke and mirror kind of energy. This is the 12th house. And this is where Mars and Cancer is hanging out right now for you. So it's your subconscious is doing a lot of work, right? So you're in this, living in this sort of, Leo, you want to make sure that if you're not happy in your situation, you're not allowing yourself to escape for too long in some sort of fantasy about something, right? Or you want to make sure that you're not self-medicating in any way. You want to, either with drink, food, substances, spending money, anything like that. You want to make sure, right? Because that energy could always come up here. But I do feel like there is still this sort of smoke and mirror, not being able to see things fully clearly at the same time. But then we have this idea of a sextile, which is all about opportunity. So it's like this is the perfect opportunity for you to look at everything and make the necessary changes that you really have to make right now. So we're starting off here, these energies, in the Ace of Cups in the reverse, which does indicate being let down, feeling disappointed, feeling depressed, knowing that you have to make some changes, knowing that something's over the way it was, at least. Maybe not forever, depends on your situation, because the Death card is what? It's Scorpio, right? So this can indicate something as it was needs to end, because the way you guys were connecting or relating in that relationship, in that business situation, whatever it is, it can't continue because it wasn't good. It wasn't meant. This could also indicate a possible ending of a business connection or an avenue of making money, right? And things might be tough initially, but this energy indicates that things are going to end up, there are better things for you on the horizon. You're just going to have to exercise some patience here. But it has to do with relationship. Either a relationship that was not meant to work out is not going to work out, or at least you guys are taking some space away if it's ever going to have legs in the future, right? Really needing to do that. Now we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. This Queen of Pentacles in the reverse can indicate greed, right? A greedy person, envy, financial dependence. So you might be in a situation where you feel like you need to make some changes, but there's some sort of financial dependence, or somebody might be very dependent on you, or you might be dealing with a very greedy energy, either in an intimate relationship or a business situation, anything like that, right? But that's what's coming up here. Now we have the Justice energy, which is interesting because Justice energy is all about fairness, it really is. So having to do with relationships, it's about balance and fairness being important to look at right now, because, the Justice energy is Libra, and Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus wants us to feel good about being what we're in, right? She really does value equitable and loving situations. So you need to be really honest with yourself if your emotional needs are actually being met. If this is resonating as some sort of career opportunity, right? And I'm only saying that because that fourth house is opposing the 10th house, which is your career. You might feel or experience a challenging situation that feels like a test right now for you. So this energy means that things are going to go well and in your favor regarding any kind of like interview, negotiation, or any situation where there needs to be a meeting of the minds, and if money's been an issue, things are set to improve. So this is really good because justice is the scales. It's about fairness, right? But we also have this Three of Wands energy, and it is in reverse. So this is about a delay. So there's going to be some sort of delay, setback. You want to listen. A lot of times, right? What do I always say? To be forewarned is to be forearmed. I mentioned it a little bit ago. This, even though it's reversed, it's a minor arcana. It needs maybe a different perspective to bring it into the beautiful upright. But in the delay, in the reverse, it indicates delay, and there being setbacks because it's like you're not exercising enough foresight, having to do with the situation. You have to look a little further down the pike a little bit. But all in, something is changing. There's something changing here, but there needs to be an absolute release of negativity for you and focus on things that you know are better for you energetically, quite honestly. Now I do have to say this to some of you because the fifth house did come up. So the fifth house, some of you may be very focused on the idea of having children or focusing on your children, or maybe not wanting to leave something because of children. Others of you may be focusing on some sort of romantic connection that you're dealing with, whether it's in perhaps outside. Because we have this idea of Cancer, which is about you're really pushed to say, like, what do I feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure in, right? And because Mars is in Cancer and it's in your 12th house, you're doing a lot of thinking here. Oh my gosh, Leo, I think it's like you Sagittarians and Sagittarius and Gemini, I feel like you guys are going to be very tired because of how these things are aspecting you. Like you're going to have very busy dreams. So when we have Pluto here, and Pluto does rule Scorpio. So this transformation, there's some sort of change going on either in your home, surrounding the idea of romance, surrounding the idea of having children. There's change. There's lots of transformative change. But part of that change really does need to be about releasing that negativity, something that's been hanging out, something that you've been really confused about. Take this energy and use it to help you make up your mind about something, one way or another. Okay, so let's talk about relationship. Let's pull. I don't want to pull those. I want to pull those for the other. Let's pull these oracles for relationship. Consider your foundation. Look at how committed you are to love, Leo. How committed are you to love at the end of the day? Do you love the idea? Do you love the safety and security in it, but are you maybe not feeling very happy in the type of relationship you have right now, either with a particular person or how things are going right now? We have sexuality, the idea of sex. So there can be some sort of sexual dysfunction. There could be some sort of somebody having an affair, somebody wanting to have an affair. You might be attracted to somebody else. Your partner might be attracted to somebody else. There might be a questioning of your sexuality. There could also be some sort of sexual dysfunction at play here, which is not the end of the world. It's not an uncomfortable thing, right, for the person experiencing it, having that. But this could certainly be, a situation that's going on here as well. Okay, and let's pull an On Time Wellness. The Grim Reaper. The relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform your life. Wow, I feel like these are some pretty specific messages going on here. How committed are you to love? The relationship is over. No second chances in sexuality. It does seem like there might be some consideration. That didn't pop out. It just flipped. So let me just see. Hold on. Let's see what we get here. Surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. Okay. Okay. Strong messages. All right. Let's see what we have for our Leo friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So I want to make sure you're not staying in a relationship just because of the sex, you know. Okay. So we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, which is about rejection and a false start and delays and just like not feeling cozy in a situation. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but maybe you were in a situation with someone and there was a cycle and it was good, it wasn't good, it was good, it wasn't good. And then you had this final time where you're just like, look, you know, what do we need to do to work this out? And you guys trying it, but it was like this false start. Maybe it was good for a day or two, or maybe it was good for even a couple of weeks, but it ended up really at the end of the day, it ended up being a false start. And either they rejected you ultimately, energetically, at least for now, or you did to them, right? Or maybe you did to each other. I've got several fives, couple of fives here. So we have the five as the foundation here. We have the Five of Wands in the reverse. The Five of Wands in reverse is about harmony and success and solving problems, right? But that's being crossed by the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which is about conflict and feeling lonely in a situation, right? This could even indicate some financial issues, or finances might be like the core issue. A core issue could be the idea of growing a family, developing a family. And Leo, I feel like in a sense you feel, okay, it's like you feel a sense of alone. You feel a sense of loneliness because, and there is no other sign over Leo that values. I mean, we could say, doesn't everyone want to be friends with their partner? Yeah, of course, right? But like Leos need that. Like if a Leo is in a tight relationship with somebody who they don't feel like they could just hang out and do nothing with and have a great time, go out and party. There's like a lot in common. You guys just like to do things. You have a lot in common. You're just like, you're like the same type of people. You're my best friend, that kind of thing. Leos really value that very heavily in a relationship. So while you really want that energy, right? I mean, because this Five of Swords in reverse really is nice. It certainly is. It's about trying to solve problems, right? Having this harmony. But I still feel like it's not, you're still feeling alone in a relationship. You know, some of you may be literally alone where there was this conflict and you're just sort of healing from a situation. Others of you, you may be in this situation where things weren't good and then you guys talked about it, you gave it a go and you're trying to resolve everything. But even though like your person's right next to you, you're feeling very alone. You're feeling very alone in it. Now we have the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is the crowning energy, is about loss and leaving and sadness, right? Obviously, this can be the relationship or, you know, whatever situation you were involved in having to do with this situation, whether you guys were together, you weren't together, whatever it is, there's a sense of sadness here and you not feeling fully ready for it to end, right? But you're going to be able to deal with it just fine and assimilate the stress and move forward, right? For some sort of new start. But this can be... I'm going to say this to some of you. I'm sorry for the delay, but I just got hit with the message. I'm like, holy cow, where did that come from? I feel like some of you maybe are in a relationship and then there was another energy involved and you had to end the connection with this other energy, whether you were literally having an affair with them or just, I'm not judging, or you were just communicating with them, whatever the case was, and you needed to end it because it was the right thing to do in your mind in order to work on this other relationship, which you wanted to try to save, but you weren't ready to release that person yet. Just seems like you're just not ready to release them. And it's like you feel the sense of lack, like nobody's business without this other person. Where it's like you feel very vulnerable, and there's this strong sense of lack without this energy. Now, where are you right now? You're in the Page of Wands energy. Page of Wands is it's a personification of fire. All right, so this is good news coming in about anything that would require negotiating in relationship, but the thing is here, Leo, I have to be honest, because it's like you're getting together with your partner and you guys sitting down and saying, okay, what do we have to do to fix this? Okay. And in theory and on paper, all of it looks great. And it's okay. All of that still may appeal to you, right? But at the end of the day, it's really not what you thought it would be, or it's not. There's almost an element of, you could end up feeling disappointed, where it ends up not being exactly what you wanted. And remember, Page is a new cycle. Page can also inflect some immaturity. And I'm not calling anybody immature, but it's almost like this I want it now kind of energy. It could certainly be that, right? So some of you may be in that space, right? Exactly as I indicated. Others of you, if you're not even dealing with anybody, it's like you're just ready to go out there. You might even be meeting somebody who's like a writer or an artist, but they could be a player, right? You want to be careful of that, right? Because it's a Page energy and Wands as well, but it's also, symbolic for sex as well. So you just want to be careful. It could be a little bit of an immature energy when it comes to, sex and intimacy like that. So we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So this is really about giving up too soon and not putting the work into something. Not putting the work in. It's like, and you right now, this is an energy that's external to you, that's impacting you. So Leo, I feel like you're with an energy that's just not putting the work in. And that's why you might be, your mind might be floating away for that reason. But you also may be in a space where you just truly don't want to put the work in anymore, But because it's the kind of thing where it's like, you could feel like you're working really hard at the relationship, and then you're like, for what? Like, what's the reward on the other side of this? More of that? More of like nothing? More of not feeling like best friends with my partner? More of feeling like I'm not with the right person kind of thing? For some of you, it can manifest like that. We have the King of Wands in the reverse in your block. So the King of Wands is kind of like a bullying mentality, but I have to tell you, this is another sexual card, but this is more about sexual problems, right? So to mention the sexuality thing. But this could also indicate not feeling very ready yet. So you might not be as ready as you think you are, or that you would like to be for a relationship, and you can't quite figure out, maybe is it your partner, is it you, is it just the situation? Maybe you're just not ready to do something, right, that you guys are talking about or planning, and maybe thinking about, maybe talking about moving in together, getting married, having a baby, starting a business, doing something that's like that deep entrenchment energy together, and you're like, I'm not really feeling very ready for it, or you're dealing with an energy who's really not very ready for it. Yeah. But can I say, I don't feel like you're dealing with a very strong energy, Leo, dare I say. Like, I don't feel like this person is like a real go-getter, or like whatever we have to do, let's do it, kind of, yeah, we're in this together. I don't feel like you're dealing with a kind of energy like that. So we have the Six of Pentacles in the near future. So the Six of Pentacles is you may be dealing with some selfishness here for sure, and that selfishness can really lead to a sense of struggling, where things are very one-sided, right? Very one-sided. So, it's the best way of looking at it, very one-sided. So you may be with a partner who's putting a lot of work in, but you may have checked out already, I don't know, maybe some of you are interested in another energy, or some of you just kind of want to be alone, or maybe a little bit of both. Several truths can be happening at once here. So we have, as the final outcome, we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse, right? So the King of Pentacles in reverse is somebody with no follow-through. And also somebody being very, very jealous. So there could be some jealousy going on here. But you're dealing with somebody where there's no follow-through, Leo. Empty promises. Empty promises. And I feel like that's pushing you to be super honest with yourself, right? I mean, about that fourth house, you know, is this person who doesn't have follow through, are they going to help me feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure? Are we going to be able to have a home together with that full moon in Scorpio in the fourth? Are we going to be able to have that life together? You know, really. And it's making you with the square in Aquarius in your seventh, it's making you like, it's impossible for you to not look at these things, right? And with Mars and Cancer in your 12th, you cannot battle off what your subconscious is like, boom, in your face now. You got to look at this stuff, Leo, right? I mean, this is what's going on right now. It's very interesting. And I feel a couple of different energies here. I'm being straight with you. So whether you like broke up with somebody and you're meeting somebody new, I still feel like your energies are sort of scattered. If you're in a relationship, I feel like there's somebody else that you're interested in, or you just sort of, you know, faceless, right? This faceless other, not in the relationship where you're just like, I want to be with somebody else, or you just kind of want to be, you know, by yourself. But I'm not getting an energy of stability. So for those of you Leos who are in a stable relationship, this is not your reading. Please don't try to make it fit or think that anything ominous is going to be happening to your particular relationship. And also, it is just for the 25th to the 30th. So as always, let's wait and see what rolls out next week. All right, now let's move on to career. So career. Yeah, so I mean, you know, you have a lot popping there in the 10th house, which I kind of love. I mean, Sun is in there and Uranus. It's like, woo, a lot of like attention to some sort of changes going on in your career, having to do with money, having to do with communication. There's a lot happening, and it's all happening in Taurus, which rules money and things of value. That's all happening in your 10th house of career. So let's see what we have happening for you. Blessed. Love it. Love it. Clean it up. Beautiful. Okay. Time for a nap. All right. So what I'm getting here is there have to be some loose ends tied up regarding whatever it is that you are doing, you were doing. I see you seeing things in a different light regarding what it is that you're going to be doing for money or regarding some sort of financial situation. But when we say clean it up, you can only clean up your own backyard. Remember, you can't clean up anybody else's. So it seems like things at loose ends need tying up. Something needs to be, I don't get that your energy is ready to jump into anything brand spanking new, like at this end of the month right now. Don't do any. When it says time for a nap, what happens when we take a nap? We recharge ourselves. So it's time to sort of step back from any sort of craziness. Understand that there are very serendipitous things happening. Blessed also can indicate that you have somebody watching out for you on the other side, Leo. Absolutely beautiful. If you have anybody that you love, a parent, a grandparent, a friend, a relative, anybody like that, watching out for you. But right now you need to be in a space of getting your ducks in a row. This is a good getting your ducks in a row kind of energy, and focusing on the positive and releasing the negative of any situation. Okay, it'd be nice if I knew how to pull the cards. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. We have the Queen of Cups. Reverse. Okay. So we have the Nine of Wands in the recent past, rather. So that's a position of strength, actually. The Nine of Wands. Let me put these. Right, it's a position of strength, strong position. You know, being tired though, really tired. But you still have fire in your belly for something. You're going to have the perseverance to see something through. It's temporary. You might be feeling very defensive right now about something to do with money. So this could have to do with either your career. This could have to do with a divorce, an inheritance, an insurance settlement, the selling of a home. You know, any of that money access energy, or either money that you make or money that your partner makes, whatever. So it could be anything like that. So you might be feeling very defensive, having to do with some sort of situation. Just be careful that it doesn't keep you in a negative mindset. And I do feel like there is this partnership energy involved here, because we do have Saturn in Aquarius in your 7th. So you just want to make sure you don't stay in that negative space, because things are going to ultimately go in your favor, but it just looks like you have to go through several things first before you get there. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse here. So the wheel reverse here, look, it does mean like you might experience some like bad luck. Sounds so cheesy, but bad luck right at the moment. It does indicate that there's going to be an end to a very challenging time period. So you're going to experience closure in some way here, having to do with money, having to do with whatever it is that you're doing for money. Now, some of you may experience this as having a lack of confidence in your own intuition and decision-making skills. So you want to resolve to work honestly with the situation and just be persistent in working out or toward your goal at hand right now. So, some of you, some of you maybe have lost your job because of a particular situation, and you're just feeling all kinds of vulnerable right now. Now that's working with the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So you might be dealing with a lot of insecurity right now, You also might be dealing with somebody who's very smothering, who's being very sort of controlling regarding finances. You might even be dealing with somebody who's a little imbalanced, right, who has some sort of narcissistic tendencies. I'm not diagnosing anybody. I'm just using it as an adjective, okay? So some narcissistic tendencies where they're very self-centered, focused on their own wants, needs, and desires. But it looks like you're in this period of transition, and you're feeling very vulnerable, and somebody's being impatient with that vulnerability, which is not very nice. Now we have in the crowning energy, we have the High Priestess in reverse. So clouded insight, blocked intuition. You're not sure. You're just not sure. I get it. You're just not sure. And the thing is, you're going to be sure on the other side of this, but we need this light popping on this 4th and 10th house axis that you're going to be having with this full moon for you to have any greater clarity, right? I mean, because this is what's going on. You just don't know right now. It's not that you lack insight, it's that it's clouded right now because it seems like energetically there's a lot going on for you right now. There's a lot, especially when you have Mars and Cancer in your 12th. You're like, I don't know. I just know I want to be okay on the other side of this. I just want to know that I'm going to have enough money to pay my bills and be good, right? Not really knowing what else all of that means. And we have as a foundation, we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So the Seven of Swords in the reverse is some sort of realization happening, right? Being caught. There is somebody being caught, somebody being called out. Somebody being called out having to do with some sort of financial situation. But once it's called out, it's like light is shown on it, and then you can make amends. So this could have to do with maybe the truth came out about somebody who was a little shady with money, or somebody who had their own agenda regarding finances, or anything like that. But whatever it is, the truth coming out, and then you're able to make amends with whatever that situation is. So we have the Five of Cups in the reverse, which is better in the reverse. So this is about moving on and forgiveness and hope returning and recovering and getting past something. So if you were at a position, and it didn't work out and you needed to leave for one reason or another, you getting past that. If you are in the situation where maybe it's a divorce situation or inheritance or something like that, where, on the other side of that is always a lot of pain from losing something, you're recovering, you're getting better, your hope is returning. You're not there yet 100%, it's only a 5, right? But you're going in a good direction. So we have new beginnings coming in for you. So this is really, really nice. So this could have to do anything that you're able to grow in, which is really, really good. And even though this is not the relationship read, this is like career/money. Some of you may be finding out that you're pregnant. I'm being called to say that, so I just have to say that. And maybe, I don't know, that is going to end up impacting your money. Well, yeah, I guess that would impact your money. For those of you who are single, right, this is a really creative time, and you're being able to manifest things for yourself. Like if you're a single parent and you're concerned about money, being able to manifest things for yourself, but just being able to move past something and some sort of new opportunity or new offer coming in that's really going to speak to your heart space, right? It's it's going to make you feel really good. You're going to feel very good about being involved in it, which is really nice. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. And this is coming up as your challenge and your block, which is all about hard work, and that hard work paying off and being patient. You might be feeling really impatient right now, right? And you might be feeling like, I don't want to bother with that, right? But like you don't want to give up here. You can't give up, but you might be challenged by that. And I feel like, I don't know if I really want to put in what's necessary to make that thing work, or to wait the time to go through all the channels, to go through all the nonsense, to work out the finances of this thing, or to go after that career, or whatever it is, right? So you can be in that space. Now that's just your psychological space, right? That's not really based in reality. It might be your experience, but it's not based in reality. And then we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse, which does indicate frustration, right? Delays. Whenever we have wands reversed, there's always delays. So problems ahead, some sort of frustration that's going on. But ultimately, you're working it out just fine, because we have the Emperor as the outcome. So this is a nice energy. But the little caveat with this here is, even though you're going to be getting your finances organized and balanced, things are going to be balanced in the situation. If what you're doing doesn't motivate or impassion you, you're going to end up feeling stifled. So even though you guys are a fire energy, it's so important for you to be in something that you genuinely resonate with, and not just doing it for the buck, Really hard to do that when you need the money, but you're not going to be happy to just do something to do it. Do something that really feeds your space, that makes you feel really, really good about whatever it is that you're in. And I feel like it's anything having to do with like either making people feel good, because it's this Ace of Cups, this external energy coming in. It's just all the water signs, right? It's Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all of which are Cancer. You're all about, the Cancer energy is all about making people feel good and feeling comfortable. Scorpio is about looking underneath things. It's like the energy of the investigator, the detective, the psychologist, right? And then Pisces is about, digging underneath the realm into the psyche as well. And putting all these things together. Like, I don't know, do you want to end up doing anything that helps people in that way? Now that could be anything from a psychologist to an interior designer, to somebody who refurbishes old furniture, to just trying to help people in some way, figuring out what they need and then being of service to them in some way. It just seems like, Leo, if you're trying to transition into something, that being a good option for you. For the rest of you, though, being the Emperor is about, this is leadership energy, though. So really is about fresh path, new perspective, and doing something where you feel confident, that builds your confidence in a way that you haven't been feeling in a while. So really good stuff here, I do see. Yeah, really good. All right, my friends, it's going to be challenging for you, not going to lie, very emotional for you, but at the end of the day, whatever's happening in this energy, there's going to be a release ultimately of negativity, and there's going to be good stuff coming in. So nothing to be mad at there, right? All right, my friends, thanks so much for joining me. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.